Hello and welcome back to my YouTube and Opera channel on LELB Society. This session I will teach you another unit of 1100 words you need to know, week 21, day 1. Okay, the 5 new words. Cyan. Let me just teach you from this part. You think it's more organized here. Okay, scion means child and descendant, especially a child of a wealthy family. Indoctrinate means to teach somebody principles and valuable important lessons and values. Opulence means wealth and richness, affluence. Obsequious means seeking favor and fawning. That is somehow different from sycophant, from this sense, in this sense that obsequious is less negative. A sycophant person tries to just seek somebody's favor and pleasure in order to get something done. So the person must be opportunistic. But an obsequious person usually does that involuntarily. Fulsome means excessive and insincere. It means that you have your tongue in your cheek and you say something, particularly when you give compliments and praise somebody. Okay, the topic, the passage. Locked in an ivory edifice. Ivory edifice here figuratively refers to, let's say, life conditions in which usually children are raised or brought up without dealing with the problems or vicissitudes of life. You know, they are not confronted with any hardship or difficulties in rich families. Prince Siddhartha Gautama, or the Buddha, because the real name of the Buddha was Siddhartha Gautama, was the scion of a family of warrior kings in northern India. Was the scion or the child or son of a family of a warrior means fighter king in northern India. He was being indoctrinated for the time when he would assume his father's throne. So he was receiving some valuable lessons in order to just be a substitute for his father and assume the throne of kingdom. And he was being educated and taught for that big responsibility. Growing up in an atmosphere of opulence, the young prince was constantly shielded from the cruel realities of the world. So the subject of these two clauses is the same, and that is young prince. And the feminine form of prince is princess, as you know. So because of the fact that he was being raised or brought up in an atmosphere of opulence, for example, in that palace with which was luxurious and opulent, let's say, the young prince was always shielded or protected from the cruel realities of the world, the vicissitudes or difficulties of life. An army of obsequious servants and tutors catered to his every desire, providing Siddhartha with instruction in riding, fencing, dancing, and painting, while lavishing fulsome praise upon him. Okay, such a long sentence. An army of, this is rather hyperbolic or exaggerating, means a great many or a lot of people, obsequious or servile. For obsequious you can say servile servants, and tutors means private teachers, catered or served as a verb to his every desire, so they were at his mercy, at his service, at his disposal, providing Siddhartha or the Buddha with instruction, means some lessons, teachings, in riding, fencing. Fencing is a type of sport which is even popular these days, in which the let's say the people just take long swords and try to just fight against each other, but in a game, it's not serious. Dancing, painting, while lavishing fulsome praise or adulation or appreciation. Fulsome means excessive and insincere. Lavishing means providing or giving so much attention. Lavish as a verb. Lavish somebody with something. Lavish somebody with care and attention upon him. So he was getting so much attention from the environment. It wasn't until the prince was 30 that he took the first step that led to his becoming the Buddha. The Buddha in Sanskrit means the enlightened. So when he just stepped into his 30s, he took the first step that led to becoming more, let's say, the maximum level of enlightenment, the Buddha, one of the world's greatest spiritual leaders or mentors or guru, G-U-R-U. Okay. Sample sentences. Number 1, it was not until the wreckers began to dismantle the old edifice that they discovered its real opulence. So, when the wreckers or destroyers or damagers began to dismantle or, let's say, take apart or disintegrate the old edifice or old building, they just wanted to demolish or tear it down or collapse it, they noticed that it was such an asset. It was so valuable and let's say it could cost so much money. Number 2, as the scion of a family of wealthy bankers, Rothschild, I don't know how to pronounce it, never had to face the vicissitudes of life. Pay attention, as here means because or since. So because the scion or the child of the family, because he was the, for example, son of a wealthy family, wealthy bankers, so he never had to face or deal with or be confronted with the problems or predicaments or difficulties of life. Urahip's obsequious manner nettled all but the most gullible. So who is a gullible person? A gullible person is one who is duped or naive, easily fooled, easily deceived. So he's somehow fawning or flattering personality. Nettle means annoy or vex. Nettled everybody except or but the most gullible. Just they are duped and easily fooled. People were not bothered or badgered. They were not badged by his personality, his fawning or flattering personality. In order to indoctrinate the captive, his jailers repeatedly reviled capitalism while praising communism. In order to internalize some principles in him, or instill, also you can say instill, instill, the captive or the prisoner, his jailers, warden, warden, repeatedly, frequently reviled or resented, because revile means to resent or show hatred, capitalism. So they were trying to show that they were not in favor of capitalism but in favor of communism. Okay, and the last sentence, the actress received fulsome compliments from her friends but trenchant criticism from their reviewers. Actress, the feminine form of actor, received fulsome, excessive compliment or praise. Compliment means praise from her friends, but trenchant criticism. Trenchant means acute, sharp, acrimonious, straightforward, critical. Criticism from their reviewers or critics. Well, I already covered this part, just the idiom part, the idiom section. 2 strings to one's bow means 2 means of achieving one's goal. So there are 2 ways, 2 methods for achieving one's goal. One of them is the spare one. The salesman had 2 strings to his bow. Okay, so why? Let's see why. Because if a phone call didn't get results, he would appear in person. Because if there was no phone call or no successful phone call, didn't get result, or you can say yield result, YIELD, for get results, he would appear in person. He would show up in person. Yeah, he would personally just be present in that situation or context. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. As usual, you can attend our group class in preparation for the IELTS exam, with full of exciting activities and topics. Just visit my website at LELB.net, and right above the footer you can see this banner, and also on the home page you can see this, all the necessary information on this group class in preparation for the IELTS exam. Alright, thank you very much for your consideration, and take care.